One of your most missed questions on the quiz yesterday was Brandon drew the following strip diagram. What percentage is represented by the diagram? All right. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what percent something lands at, okay? It's not like you can just count it up without a lot of extra math going on. What we can do is we can estimate. We can say, this is about half of my whole piece, so I know it's going to be greater than half, so it's going to be greater than 50%. But aside from estimating, we know that we can count our shaded pieces against our whole, and we can find a fraction, okay? That's something that you know how to do. I watched a lot of you do this yesterday. So you counted, you said you had 15 shaded, okay, and 5 unshaded. So our fraction is 15 out of 20, okay, are represented. But we need to know what 50 and 20 is as a percent. You could do this a few different ways, okay? You could go from fraction to decimal using division to percent, okay, moving the decimal point. You could simplify and do the same thing, top and bottom divided by the same number to make it smaller. 15 divided by 5 is 3, 20 divided by 5 is 4. Make that into a decimal. I know several of you know that 3/4 is a benchmark. It's like having 3 out of the 4 quarters you need for $1, and that would be 75 cents, okay? And then making that into a percent. Or, like you learned today, you can set up 15/20 is what percent, okay? We don't know what percent, and percents always go over 100, and this is a proportion, all right? Yesterday, we hadn't shown you how to use proportions with percents, so you would have needed to convert to a percent. So we'll go ahead and finish this. If you don't simplify, you would do 15 divided by 20, okay? But they'll get the same answer. So since we've already gone all this way, we know 3/4 is the same as 75/100. That's exactly what you would get here, okay? To make it a percent, we use Dr. Pepper. Decimal jump to percent is 2 to the right. So I'm going to jump this 1, 2 numbers to the right. And this is now 75%, okay? We're going to check this with proportions like you learned today, all right? We know our part over our whole is 15 over 20, and we need to know what percent it is. So percent is what we don't know, that's our variable, and percents are always over 100. So that's how you set it up, okay? We will cross, multiply, and divide. So 100 times 15. If you know your patterns, you know that multiplying by 100 will just add 2 zeros to the end, but let's test it anyways. Okay, 1 times each, and then add, and I get 1,500 divided by 20. Okay, 20 does not go into 1 or 15. It goes into 157 times, so I'm going to subtract 140 because 7 times 20 is 140. Okay, I'm left with 10. So I'm going to drop that 0, and 20 goes into 100 5 times. All right, and we're left with 75, and it's in our percent space, so this is 75%. Okay. No extra things done, none of that needed, okay? Because it's that number over 100 is a percent, so it is 75%, okay?